Hello, thank you for being here with us once again. We hope you are well today. We are the C.I.C team. Welcome to our Queen Marie's channel. This information can be seen as science fiction, or as the viewer sees best, and we post it for entertainment purposes only. Still, we take this information very seriously, and for whoever has eyes to see. Dear friends, we wanted to send a few words to all of you so that you can understand a little bit more about the situation, but these words are also intended for our Queen Marie. We have been reviewing social networks online, and we would like to send you some of our observations that we hope will clarify things for you. Regarding our Queen Marie's channel, Marie's channel has a one-way open contact approach, meaning that everything she would talk about with anyone in private, Marie expresses in her videos. What surprises her, what catches her attention, what she feels, what she likes, what she observes, what she feels when living certain experiences, what hurts her, even how she dresses, etc. As if she was talking to someone from Earth. The words she writes in her videos are the same ones she would say in a chat among friends. This also helps all of you to visualize her, to know her for who she is. And so, she lets you glimpse her personality. She does all this to get closer to all of you. And so that you do not make assumptions about what she is like, but knowing firsthand who she is and what she is like. All of you who ask for contact, please know that what Marie publishes is what we would talk about on a day-to-day basis with any of you. It is everything that is behind this disclosure, and that was not shared, because it is considered something very personal, unreal, or difficult to believe. It is everyday life, and it is a choice for whoever chooses to write day after day, whether something should be shared or not. And Marie has decided to, yes, but through her channel. Thousands of things happen to us, like you. It's just that the things that happen to us have a different context, one outside of Earth. If there is the possibility of organizing a lower astral attack here, why wouldn't the regressives use it as they see fit? But believe it or not, this is something we discovered only a few weeks ago. And saying all this to terrestrial Lyrian humans, who are not aware of the reality of the astral, may result in it sounding like science fiction to you, thus diminishing our credibility, according to many of you. But Marie is unique. She takes the reality she lives in and turns it into her strength. Without any shame or fear. She exposes it to everyone, so that everyone, not just a few, can have access to the reality that exists outside of Earth. While, in the process, she is showing you the path she takes day after day, and how she grows and learns from her experiences. She is not afraid to show the obstacles she faces and what decisions she makes in the process, based on the information at her disposal at that specific moment, which she also shares. Including her learning and internalization of new contexts, or new things, that she did not know before, and could not include in her former decisions, etc. She shows herself as someone like you. She is just another person. Learning and finding, and discovering herself, in the process. And despite having memories of past lives, somewhat like dreams, she does not live them as absolute truths that modify her way of being today. She chooses to access that knowledge or not. This is a conscious choice of hers. She is a brave 16-year-old living her path, building her present moments, and moving forward with her life. And in this process, it also takes her time to process her emotions, since even as a queen, she has to take actions that hurt her, even concerning those she loves most on the starship Sardiklaya. And when she is ready, if she decides or wants to share it, she will. But this is her process of learning how to be an efficient queen and handling difficult crisis situations that directly affect her. You must understand that each person would experience it in their own way. And hers is to leave herself and her emotions aside, in pursuit of doing what is best and most useful for others, even if it hurts her. And for this reason, one day she will be able to see the pain she has from what she has experienced, and she will have to process it. But we hope, like what happened with her mother, this does not lead her to have other health problems. Because this is precisely what happened when she arrived here. She did not allow herself to mourn her loss and ended up taking refuge in seeing Tina as a mother from another timeline, so as not to have to live through her loss. Please always consider who and how she is, and do not think how you would act based on who you are, because she has not lived your lives, she has lived only her own. Tina is fine, she has taken it upon herself to help all the sick people in the medical bay. On the other hand, we must inform you that DK has suffered a lot of damage. He has lost almost 15 kilos in weight, and can barely walk without a cane. As for the rest of the crew of Starship Sardiklaya, they are all recovering satisfactorily, and in good spirits, including the newcomers, such as Algeria, who has valiantly chosen to stay here and not return to Tema yet, despite the horrible situation she just lived through. Do you think it doesn't hurt Marie to be on a ship she's never been on before? She's surrounded by people she doesn't know and has never interacted with, and to make matters worse, we have ways of behaving and interacting that are very different from anyone else she knows. She had never interacted face-to-face with Taygetian military personnel before, perhaps only in an occasional formal meeting, but not daily. Something you should know about us, Marie's C.I.C teams: we are military, and obviously we operate in a military manner. We have been going from ship to ship accompanying her since we arrived here with this purpose, among others. One of the things we help Marie with is translations. She writes in English and then we translate it into Spanish. But please understand that we don't learn languages like you. Even though you may use an English word in a specific way, it does not mean that we use that word in that same manner. Because we learn words, not how they are used and interpreted in each place. And even please keep in mind that, between multiple speakers of a language, the use of words may differ. The English of Scotland, the United States, England, or Australia is not the same. As the Spanish of Spain, Venezuela, Colombia, Argentina, Chile, or Mexico are not the same either. Furthermore, we can recognize, for example, that we are ignorant about one or another topic, and we may call ourselves ignorant. However, it does not have the quality of an insult, but rather a logical and obvious observation. But never with the intention of invalidating or degrading ourselves. It's a valid observation that doesn't have an emotional meaning attached to the word. We know that you interpret that, if you call someone ignorant, it is an insult or even an attack. And yes, on Earth that observation and understanding is valid, but we don't see it that way when we refer to ourselves, up here. There is no lack of empathy or lack of affection. That is why there are times when even in the translation there is some change of words. Because we spoke with Marie and she told us what she wanted to express with that specific word, and we looked for the most appropriate translation. Keep in mind that neither Marie nor we have a native Earth language, and we may make mistakes in some texts. To finish this topic, remember that Marie writes as she speaks. It is how she uses the English language, so we ask that you consider this in the future. She does everything she can to be close to you all, and that includes how she expresses herself. Regarding how she felt on the Sardic layer, remember that she arrived when she was 13 years old, lost, needing a lot of comfort and support as expected. This situation led to when she was crowned queen later on, the familiarity of the crew with her, as well as that the abandonment of Taygetan civil and military customs by the crew, put Marie in a highly complex situation where she had to be queen for Taygeta, and at the same time, comprehensive and understanding with a traumatized and needy crew who expected everything of her, but at the same time, that same crew she lived with continued treating her like a lost, sad, shy and weak girl, thus ending many situations in conflicts, like when she gave her opinion about something, and where others imposed themselves on her and invalidated her conclusion or attempts to bring order. This generated a lot of chaos in many aspects and discontent among the crew members, and when she was sick, her physical pain was even ignored and she was sent to her bedroom without even checking her, treating her as a complaining, exaggerated and annoying girl. And these situations did not only occur with the ship's doctors, but also with all the other members. Marie has already told you the situation when she returned from Tema, holographic remote presence communication, and when she returned, everyone had already had dinner, and they had only left her one egg that she boiled, and that was her dinner. Sadly, these situations have occurred with all members to a greater or lesser extent. And although it hurts that people we love have acted like this, well, that's how they have behaved, and that doesn't mean we stop loving them, but we won't lie so as not to be misinterpreted by you. Marie maintains that she always wants to tell the truth, even if it is difficult to accept, because it is her reality and it is the greatest truth she knows. Today we know that the crew of the Sardic layer was under a provoked and directed delirium, and that is why there is no punishment towards certain members who acted to the detriment of our Queen Marie. But we cannot deny that certain situations caused a lot of pain, and that pain or trauma is not erased overnight. It is possible to continue loving everyone you consider family, and still begin to live your life away from them, but just a call away. Don't you do that? Don't they call that independence or adulthood? Well, outside the Earth it happens like that too. Even all the cadets who are on the starships learning about flights and interstellar navigation are young people, 15 to 20 years old, who are far from their homes, very far away, and yet that does not mean that they stop loving their family members. Marie has not abandoned the crew of the Sardic layer, but she has decided to begin her life journey on her own. Let us ask you a question. Would you have preferred that Marie not tell you anything about everything that was happening and that she only told you that she was moving to another ship? Think about your answer. Do you already have an answer? If your answer was yes, then we regret to inform you that you are not ready for what you call contact. And you're just looking for interesting entertainment. Remember that we are more people, living our lives like you live yours. Don't thousands of things happen to you in your life? But we are sure that the vast majority will have answered no. Let's continue. Regarding the astral. To achieve control in the astral you must have a large amount of energy at your disposal. The mind consumes more energy than the entire body, and to have high control of the situation, it needs even more energy. You can get into many different types of troubles and problems. You may even die in the process if your energy level is low. Therefore, when sick, no one should risk going to the astral consciously and at will. And this is for everyone, including Marie, Tina and Sophia. Your body needs that energy to heal and function as best as possible, and your already low energy levels will be doors for the entry of entities and more attacks. You must also always consider that in the astral or the physical world, you cannot know something if you do not search for that something. And Marie has already expressed this. If you do not look for something that could attack you from the astral, you will not even know when that attack is occurring, because your attention will be on whatever you are looking for or want to live in the astral. This is also partly to show that both outside and inside the earth, it is all the same. Where your attention is what you live. Even if what you put your attention on, in the astral, is only a reflection of your most arduous desires, or an invention of yours, and as you live it, it becomes your reality. Whether you like it or not, where you put your attention is your conscious choice, and this also includes being aware that by choosing to see something in particular, you are also ignoring a lot more that surrounds you. This leaves you vulnerable to the fact that unethical beings, or those with other ethics or interests contrary to yours, or to your detriment, can hurt you in a very real way, and it does not matter if you are on Earth or outside of it, they can always attack you. Therefore, what is asserted or taken for granted, that the Galactic Federation is keeping, all which is regressive, contained on Earth, is a lie. We hope that, as Marie tells this whole situation, the other races present in Earth's orbit will see that they may be being manipulated into not doing the right thing. We hope that they are aware that many of their decisions of non-intervention or non-observation of the Earth, direct and independent of the Federation, may be being imposed. All this being even unconscious, without them knowing it. And thanks to Marie reporting everything that happened, we hope that the other races take the necessary measures to be free of any astral or mental intervention, used so that they do not take actions based on their own ethics regarding what happens down there. We are in this process of taking measures, more than necessary, and always with the focus on defending ourselves. Because we are not the ones attacking, we want to make this very clear. About remote viewing, astral travel or astral projection, or even physical intervention of another ship, by our Taygetian military or even by the Urmah, you must understand that if those people, whom you want to help, do not believe you must help them, if they believe that they are protected on their ship, and that there is no way for attacks to come to them, why would they allow you to intervene? Why would military actions of any type or kind be taken if those you want to protect inform you that it is not necessary? Their normality, what they are experiencing, has nothing that they can recognize as different or bad, and they report that they do not need your help, even if they are all sick, refusing any assistance. If the Urmah or the Taygetians from other starships had entered the Sardiklea by force, imposing themselves, just because they wanted it that way, do you think that would have been positive? Until the moment Queen Marie gave command over the fleet to Goriel, he couldn't do anything. But at the moment of receiving command, he took the entire situation in his hands and took charge of everything, first activating Protocol 827 to extract our Queen Marie from that matrix bubble in which she was immersed in the Sardiklea, following the example of the Urmah, who were the ones who began the process of resolving this entire situation by opening Marie's eyes to other perspectives. Then Goriel and his entire team sprang into action in their mission to protect our Queen, and to take care of the entire crew of the Sardiklea, but also showing Marie what was happening, without overwhelming her, and in the process clarifying everything that happened, therefore healing them. Unfortunately, former Queen Alanim never taught Marie anything about the Taygetan military. And sadly, as Alanim herself was immersed in the bubble of the Toleka, full of traumas of terrestrial and non-terrestrial influence, Alanim failed in this part of Marie's education. Alanim held many wrong New Age ideas, which led her to hide from Marie, perhaps unintentionally, a large part of the reality of what the Taygetan people are really like during the education given to Marie. And, added to this, some things that Marie experienced in the Toleka and a little in the Sardic layer are not representative nor a faithful reflection of the Taygetan people. Innocence, blind trust, and naivety are positive characteristics in the members of a holographic society, but unfortunately, this implies that they have abandoned the understanding that, even being in a peaceful and evolved society, you must know how to take care and protect yourself. Because unfortunately, this abandonment of the simple idea that another can hurt you leaves you at the disposal of whoever wants to abuse and manipulate you, your personality, your ideas and your reality, turning you into a silent and selfless slave. This is something we know now, but we didn't know before. Everything is complex, and we all recognize Alanim as the great queen that she was, but that does not mean that we cannot see where she failed, and at the same time understand the reasons for her failures, and be empathetic and understanding of her. She will always be the great queen who began to open our eyes and bravely began the resounding change in our vision of the earth, seeing in her, but also in many others, the capacity for damage that the terrestrial matrix system has. And the fact that you are, according to the Federation, isolated on Earth, does not under any circumstances prevent all that trauma and horror from permeating outside Earth. Until recently, no one saw it, and that's why no one took care and protected themselves. They didn't even consider it possible that negativity could filter out of Earth. And this can be seen now, but only because Marie is our queen today. Because Alanim, in silence or in her ignorance, could not see it or say something about it. And this is why even Alanim herself has recognized, at the time, that no one could do things better than Marie, that no one was as strong as Marie, and that is why she did not hesitate to get into the wet medical pod, having previously abdicated the throne, officially declaring Marie as the full queen. We observed on the networks the things that you asked the most and that were most repetitive and important, and we did our best to compile and answer them here. Because we felt that you were feeding each other with speculation, and we saw that this could cause rejection against gigantic efforts made by Marie these last 2 years. We hope we have been able to answer your questions. Marie is not yet finished with her reports about what happened. There is much more. And when she said these events are life-changing, it's because they are. A huge hug to everyone. And as Marie always says, this will be all for today. As always, thank you for watching this video, and for liking, sharing, and subscribing for more. It helps this channel grow a lot. And we hope to see you here next time. With much love and appreciation, your friends. C.I.C team.